Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm JJ and this is my island toy box. Let's see who's here for starters. Anybody? I did just have Sterling walk past me. Where is he? Oh, he walks fast. Oh, there he is. He walked really fast because he had literally just before I press record walked past me and he's already there. He's getting his steps in the morning. I wish I had that enthusiasm to get my steps in the morning, but no, I don't. Anybody else here? No, I don't think so. No, nobody else. Just Sterling getting his steps in. I know what I'm doing today for this build. Go me. Don't get too excited because I know what I'm doing, but I just don't know how it's going. So I suppose it's a start. I know what I'm doing. I know where it's going. Oh, look at Stitches. He is literally one of my favourites. He was my profile picture for a very long time on Instagram and on here and Discord. Look at him. I love Stitches. Anyway, yes, we're going to do the museum today. I'm going to do like a research area near the school for my museum. Just so it's not in with the school, but it's next to the school, so then the children from the school can, it's easy access for them. They can go and do a bit of research. I don't know how it's going to come out. I don't know what it's going to look like in that sense, but I just know that's what I'm doing. So, because I know that's what I'm doing, we're just going to get straight into the video and get building. So, let's go. Excuse the rain, yes. Hopefully, once I've put the museum in and time travelled, there will be no rain. But I want to get a bit of the build done first because I'm not doing no cliffs in this build. It's just all flat. So the museum will be put in a bit later on once I've done a bit of the decorating, because I want to do like a little back area behind the museum so it's not right up against the edge of the map like I always seem to do. If I put the museum at the back, I always do it on terraforming right at the back of this cliff, or I always do it right at the back of the island if I haven't terraformed. So I want to do a little bit behind it and then put it in front of that bit. So obviously the museum will come a little bit later because I don't know how much space I will need at the back. So if I decorate the back first and then place my museum, it makes sense in my head. So hopefully once we've put the museum and time travelled and then done whatever else needs to be done, there won't be no rain. But like I said, I think it was my last build or the build before, we're just going to embrace the rain because why not? No terraforming in this build, cliffs anyway. Obviously I need the hard hat on for the path and codes, so hard hat on, and we're just going to wing it because I know I'm doing the research area, but I just obviously don't know how it's going. So 99% of my builds I just wing them anyway. Sometimes I'm like, I love that build, how it's come out. Sometimes I'm a bit like, let's just change a few things. Most of the time it is, I like it, it's staying. But I don't think this is going to be a very big build because there is no terraforming. So I suppose that's a good thing. Even though I love terraforming, it's most probably going to be a small build because there is none. But obviously I don't know until I've edited the video how long it's going to be or whatever. So if it's a short build or a short video, I do apologise. Not all builds videos will be long, but these things need to be done. We're running out of space on this island. I don't think I'm going to get every building that I want to put in. I don't know. I think because obviously I've got big builds on this island, like my school is a big build. That takes up like near enough a quarter of my island. So because that's a big build, and then I've got my Toysrus, that's a big build. What else have I got on here? I've got Tangies. That's not as big as the school and Toysrus. But yeah, I'm running out of space. I don't think I'm going to be able to do all the builds that I wanted to do. I think I'm going to have to try and squeeze Pietro's Fun Fair in and Ketchup's Farm. I'm going to try and do the duck pond for my duck villagers. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to fit it all in. We're running out of space fast. But I think my next build, I might do Pietro's Fun Fair in front of the school or behind the Toysrus, because I've got quite a bit of space there. I can either do it right behind the Toysrus or move it back and put it right in front of the school. I haven't quite decided yet, but there's enough space there to fit that in. So I think I might do that next, just so that's done. Ketchup's Farm, I'm not sure where that is going. I have no idea, because we are running out of space. So I will see what space I do have left and decide what's going where. And then you'll know when I've done the builds where they're going and all how big they are and all of that. I don't particularly want to do massive builds for Ketchup and Pietro, but with the fun fair I'm gonna need a bit more space because the items are a lot bigger. So I'm possibly going to do that as my next build. I do have the campsite to place, and I don't know if I'm going to have the space for the campsite on the island. So the campsite may just have to be a beach build. I don't know yet, and I'm not one for beaches. So if I leave the campsite on the beach, it will literally just be a basic build. Because I don't do beaches. I know if I do a beach, I'll enjoy it and whatever, but I don't know. But the campsite may stay on the beach. It may make it to the island. Who knows? We'll soon find out by the end of the build, because as usual, I've left all my houses, my villager houses, till last. I don't know how it happens. Well, no, I do know how it happens, because I want to get all these other builds in, and then my houses, my villagers, get left till last minute. And then they're just placed wherever there's space. I feel a bit bad about that. And I keep saying I will try to place my villager houses as I go, but we've all seen me decorate an island. I don't stick to one spot. I decorate one area and then I move to a completely different area and start building that area. So therefore the houses are always left till the end. I'm going to try and put them in as I go, so they're not all left to the end. I said that in my last island and it didn't quite work out that way either. And it looks like it's not working out that way either on this island. But hopefully next island, we shall see. But I don't know how they always get left till last. It's just one of them things where it happens, to be honest. And then it gets to the point where they're left till last, they've got no space, so it just ends up being silly builds. But it's fine, because sometimes the silly builds or the small builds for the villager houses is what is needed. And they come out cute, so I can't complain. But I do need to start doing them not at the very end, the island builds. It gets to the point where I've done all these videos of all these builds, and then I don't particularly want to be posting villager house after villager house after villager house for a video, because that becomes boring. So I want to try and sort of get the villager houses in between the builds that I'm doing, so then it spreads it out. But sometimes it just doesn't work like that, and that's okay. Not everything can work out the way you want it to work out, clearly, because it's not for me with these villager houses, because they always end up last in the small spaces that I have left to fill on the island. But never mind. At least they're on the island. That's all that matters. At least they're on the island. At least they've got a spot and it's decorated. That's all that matters. And that is the end of today's build. I am standing in front of my school, specifically my school bus, because I forgot to put the school bus down when I did the school build, and you've only seen a glimpse of it from a cliff. So I thought, you know what, I'll stand in front of the school bus and you can see my school bus up close and personal, because you haven't seen it properly. It's only a little small school bus. I've put nothing on the stalls because I thought it doesn't really need it. The children have all been dropped off, so the school bus is empty. It's either dropped them off or it's waiting to pick them up. Either way, the stalls are empty. So that is the school bus that I forgot to build in the build that it needed to go in. But you've seen it now. That is it. Let's just go and see what we've done. We did do the museum, and I actually really like how it's come out. I didn't want to put the items for this bit over this side, so of course I had to get the trees and the bushes in there somewhere, because this build is lacking trees and bushes and flowers. So I did it this side instead. But we're just going to make out that this is like a research book stand with all books that will explain what, I was going to say pets we have here, but they're not pets. What insects and bugs and fish and all of that we have here. So just imagine that's what that bookcase is for. And then we've just got a few bugs and fish to research and paint and write about scattered around. We have Nemo and Dory together over there because they must stay together. And yes, I do call them Nemo and Dory because they are Nemo and Dory. So they will forever be Nemo and Dory. Whenever I see them, I don't call them by their proper names. I call them Nemo and Dory. So that's what they're going to stay. But this is the little dig site area where they can dig up their own fossils. In the ground are actual fossils, so then they can obviously, whoever comes to visit the museum, can dig them up and then go and talk to Blathers, get them inspected or whatever that, and then he can then tell you what they are and all of that. So there are fossils if you would like to dig them up. Oh, I need to leave a shovel. It's a shovel. I need to leave a shovel on the floor so you can dig them up and tell me exactly what. No, actually, you won't be able to tell me what they are because they're not been assessed. So I won't leave a shovel, actually. a few fossils around because why not? It gives the children or adults an idea of what they're digging up if they're lucky enough to get the ones that are displayed. And then behind here, I just put a shark. Obviously, we need the storage shed to feed the animals, the sea creatures, sea life. So that's what the shed is for. The shed is for all their food and whatever they need. I don't know why I put this here. I haven't got a clue, but I saw it in my storage shed. I thought, why not? Let's just use it. And here it is, just standing there. Don't ask, because I don't know why it's there. I just thought, why not? Let's just place it somewhere near the museum. But this is my little research area museum. And I actually quite like it. Well, not quite like it. I do like it. That's why I've done it. But no, I do like this little area. It's not the greatest, but that's fine. It's self-explanatory. We can see what it is. And it's done. So it's staying. And that is all for today's build, today's video. My museum is officially done and complete. Obviously not the things inside, but the outside is complete. I don't think I've ever completed my museum, like all the bugs and the fish and the art and sea creatures. I don't think I've ever completed a museum. Please let me know if you have, because I'm very intrigued. I don't know if it's worth it or not, because I'm recording builds, the museum just doesn't get done. But anyway, enough waffling from me. Thank you all so much for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe, and I will see you all back here for my next video. Bye guys.